Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Thursday morning. These two are in high spirits this morning. I'm at serious threat of getting knocked down. Oh dear. Yeah, if they knock me down, it'll be a blooper for channel members. Anyway, to the video. There's been some news from Don Wells, from the Wells camp, via the Wells media manager, aka Mr. Tim Mullen. So, according to the Wells media manager, post says that Don faced Judge Ross, the judge overseeing this case, and no rehab for Don. He'll stay in jail until the 30th of October. We don't know what was said between Don and Judge Ross. We can only speculate. Has Don chosen not to do rehab? I think that's probably the most likely. I can't see a scenario where rehab would be offered at sentencing and then not be followed through by the judge. You know, the judge ordered him not to do rehab. You must stay in jail. I think Don has chosen not to do rehab, perhaps staying in jail for that extra time is easier than rehab. Rehab's difficult. You've got to face a lot of demons. And I do believe Don has a lot of demons. And I think Don struggles with those demons on a regular basis. I think Don tries to be a good person. I think there's elements of Don's personality where that shines through. And then there's the other side of him that isn't a good person. Now, I'm not talking about what he might have done in the past. I've talked extensively in videos going way back, almost a year now, about what he did to his stepsisters, particularly his stepsister Jeannie. Yes, I know they've spoken out again. People have asked me to comment on that. I'm not going to comment on it because it's very polarising, and in my opinion, whatever happens with the case in Utah, I think we've got to just let that happen. If it's going to happen, I'm not convinced it's going to happen. It may happen. I don't know the law in Utah. As I've spoken about in many previous videos, it's unclear. It's unclear to me at least whether the statute of limitations applies to the case brought against Don by his stepsisters and potentially other women. If a case can be brought, if that's lawful in the state of Utah, then I hope the law challenges him and I hope the law punishes him. Let's wait and see. And I'm not going to comment any further on that at the moment. Tilly, come here. I did comment on the shed theory that was brought up again, and the video is there just from a few days ago. So it seems that some people missed that video. So there's my opinion on the shed theory in all its glory. So please go and check that out. I'll leave it in the cards there. So no rehab for Don, but it begs the obvious question, what next for Don Wells? And I speculated about what's next for Don a while ago, but I think we're one step closer to understanding Don's immediate future, at least. So what will happen to him when he's released on the 30th of October? Now, there is some talk about him selling 110 Ben Hill Road. Now, I don't know whether anybody's got any insider information on that or whether that is purely speculation, but there is a rumour that he's going to put 110 Ben Hill Road on the market. It wouldn't surprise me if he did. mean, you know, there's many, many bad memories there. He is within his rights to sell it. He is. Now, I was in the reporter rooms chat briefly, because it was very, very late my time and I went to sleep. But I was in the chat briefly, and somebody said that there was receipts on another channel that Don doesn't own 110 Ben Hill Road and it's owned by the Goads. That's not true. And I said in that chat that I've got receipts. I've posted this receipt more than one occasion in my videos. And this is the deed information for the sale history of 110 Ben Hill Road. And you can see very clearly that when Karen Goad, Don's mother, died, the house was transferred to somebody called Clyde Trent, who was one of Karen Goad's friends. And then I think there were some stipulations or something in the will. And via a quick claim deed, that was then transferred to Don in 2015. So the Don is the full legal owner of 110 Ben Hill Road. He can sell it if he wishes. There's nothing nefarious about a quick claim deed. As I've talked in the past, that's a fairly common thing to do when you're passing property from family members, from an estate to a family member, etc. Nothing strange to see there. So can we put that one to bed? Don does own 110 Ben Hill Road. Candice doesn't have any claims to it, as far as I understand it. So it's Don's property to do as he wishes. Is he going to sell it and go west, back to Utah, make a fresh start somewhere? There was that talk in the summer of 2020 of them all making a fresh start in Utah. Allegedly, Don wanted to move back. He got a job. He enrolled the eldest boy, who he took with him, to a school in Roy, Utah, where his family live. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. Even though Candice put 110 Ben Hill Road on the market. By on the market, I mean on Facebook. Was that the beginning of the downfall of the Wells family? I think possibly. We see a change in some of the photos. The kids, particularly Summer, kind of start to look scruffier. Not going to comment on the alleged state of Summer's health, but there's subtle changes. After Don came home, after Jose had been there, and then Grandma took him to South Carolina after that argument, you know, that resulted in Don being arrested, resulted in the police report. Candice didn't wish to pursue it, and the case was dismissed, relating to the domestic incident. But in the summer of 2020, that was their intention, to move back to Utah. Now, you know, there's talk about, you know, the 14 people, including Jose and Hunter's dad, Andrew Hiltz, who all came down from New York, supposedly to make a new life in Tennessee. And the house that they were allegedly moving into wasn't ready. So they turned tail and disappeared. There's something strange about that. You know, they just turned tail and went back to New York. It's bizarre. Why would you do that? You know, you'd only need to wait a few days for your house to be ready. Now, there's been speculation that the house that they were allegedly moving into was 110 Ben Hill Road. That they were all going to move in there. And were they going to buy it? I don't know. I don't know about that. I speculated in a video when Jose spoke out about that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. What we do know is Jodie Sue wanted to buy it. Jodie Sue, the mayor of Beech Creek, who thinks she owns everything anyway. Andy Bernard, Jodie Sue's ex, in a live, he actually said that, he'd go back to Ben Hill if he could buy 110. And he'd make it a little gated community. Maybe that's what Jodie Sue and Andy wanted when Candice first put it on the market. Yeah, I think it is. I think there's a lot of resentment towards Don and Candice. Is that a contributory factor to the disappearance of Summer? Maybe indirectly, if it turns out that there are neighbours, locals involved in a disappearance, which is an option. As I discussed yesterday, I'm at a crossroads with this case, as I talked about yesterday, and my option 3, my direction 3, is that Summer's disappearance was a group effort, that there's numerous people involved. I don't know. But I'm inclined to say that, after all this time, after 13 and a half months, that although I can't discount Don as a suspect on my list, I don't think he did it, honestly. I really don't. And that brings me on to his letter to Summer. This was released late yesterday on findsummerwells.com and Don Wells Family Official YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to the video in the description box, and I'll leave a link to findsummerwells.com as well. This is the full letter. I'll put it here. So pause the video and read it. If it's too small to read it on the screen, then go over to findsummerwells.com and there you can download it and then can blow it up and on your own machine. I felt really sad. I did. I felt really sad when I read that letter. I know people are going to tear it apart. I know they are. But I can't help but think that Don meant that. Now, there's been talk about these letters and are they being written by Don? I made a video, did a live when the first letter came out, and said this cursive handwriting really doesn't look like Don's writing. It looks completely different than Don's writing. Now, some people said, well, writing does look different when you print versus when you write in cursive. And yeah, that's true. Some people said the exclamation mark, the exclamation point, is exactly the same, and that is true. Look, I'm no handwriting expert. What I did do, though, is I compared the signature of Don Wells on a previous document with that of the last letter he did, the poem, the little poem that was released. And they look virtually the same. So I might have to change my opinion and say, look, although this handwriting does look very different, this could well be Don just writing what he thinks is neat. He's got a lot of time to practice writing letters. Allegedly, he's in solitary confinement. He has been segregated the whole time. I know it's recently come out again, but we knew that. We knew that when he first went into jail, that he was segregated. Now, possibly because of his profile, possibly because they thought when he first went to jail that putting him in solitary would help him sort his thoughts out and help him talk. Whether it has or it hasn't remains to be seen. But this letter, to me, it looks heartfelt. It shows, possibly, it's all my opinion, that Don is very down about his life. This line here killed me, where he said, "You're my highlight of my entire miserable existence." His existence, not just him now, his existence has been miserable. I can believe that. I don't think he had an easy childhood. I think, no excuses, not at all, but I think his childhood has contributed to everything Don has become. The drugs, the drinking, the crime, I think it's all a sign of mental ill health, mental instability. And because he's had a lot of time to think, Don now perceives his existence as miserable. And I think he truly did love Summer. I do. Could it be all an act? Yeah, of course it could. Could he be an extra good liar, fooled even the behaviour panel? Yeah, could have done. Lots of red flags, lots and lots of red flags, but there are also more signs that Don did love Summer, and he is destroyed by what happened to her. Now, is he going to come back on the YouTube streets and, revert to his old behaviour on the 30th of October onwards? Maybe he's learnt a lesson. Maybe he's going to change his life. I hope he does. It's one of them watch and wait situations. So I'm going to call it a day here. It's just about starting to rain and the wind has really got up, so apologies if the wind noise has been bad in the latter half of this video. It's really got up. Say goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer. This week, by the way, a few people have said, when does this get harvested? It's nearly ready. Last year it was delayed. We had so much rain, the weather was awful. They didn't harvest it till September. I don't think the yield would have been that good. This year it's ripened a lot earlier. They normally do harvest it kind of mid to end of August, unless the weather like last year, but it's not quite ready. I had a taste this morning. If you pick one of these, one of the little seeds, and taste it, if there's moisture in it, it's not ready. And there's a little bit still, it's not quite ready. I mean, there are some bits that are clearly not ready. But anyway, I digress. I shall see you very soon. Bye, guys. Another sign that it's not ready is we still have the green edges and the spots in the fields. You can't really see them, but the spots in the fields that are still green. So we've got Miss Cassie Springer's hopping for a little while yet before this thing is harvested, and the fields become out of bounds for a while because they put manure on it and it stinks. So I'll revert my walks back to the woods. Alright guys, bye again. See you later.